Hi guys! Well, it's such a beautiful day. I thought we'd come outside and see what we can find in nature. This is my cat Kitty. So let's have a look around and see what we can find. So let's play a game. I thought we'd start with a scavenger hunt. Let's think of the word strive, and let's think of the letters which are in the word strive. S, T, R, I, V and E. 6 letters. I thought it'd be fun if we could find something in nature that began with each of those letters. So let's start with the letter S. So what begins with the letter S? I know! The sun! Can you think of anything else that begins with the letter S? Next, T. Well, that's easy. The tree. Can you think of something else that begins with the letter T? Okay, R. This one's really hard. Wait a minute. Rocks! Can you think of something else that begins with the letter R? Okay, next we have I. Insects. V, this beautiful view. V's a difficult one. Is there anything else you can find that begins with the letter V? Okay, last but not least, E. I know, elephants. Anything else with the letter E that you can find? Well, you did such a great job now, guys, looking for things. But now I want you to use your ears and really listen to the sounds in the garden. I can hear the wind in the trees. It makes a whistling, beautiful sound. Let's see if you can hear it too. There's another sound that's from the garden, and that's when you stand on the leaves. It makes a rustling in the leaves, and it's a beautiful crackling sound. Let's listen to it. And if you listen really carefully, you might be able to hear some birds. Can you hear any? Amazing job. Let's head back inside. Hi guys, so today we're going to be making baking soda dough. We're going to be making sea art with it. But before we do that, let me tell you what you'll need to do this activity. All these things you can find in and around the house. So once I've told you, pause the video and go off and get it. So here goes. The first thing you'll need is the parchment paper. Next, something that measures 1 cup of ingredients. You'll need cornstarch and baking soda. You'll also need a bowl and a saucepan. So these are all the things that we'll be using to make the dough itself. But once we've made it and we've baked it in the oven, we'll then be decorating our sea art that we'll be making with the dough. So for the decorating part of it, you will need some paint of your choice, any colour, whatever you wish, and some paintbrushes. So let's get going. So to start with, let's take our cup and our baking soda. What we're going to do is we're going to measure 2 cups of baking soda, and we're going to pour the baking soda into the saucepan. Now that's quite a lot of baking soda. Don't worry, it looks a lot, but that's what we need. Next, we take cornstarch, and we need 1 cup of cornstarch. So let's open it up. Here's the cornstarch, and I'm going to measure out 1 cup of cornstarch. It can get a little bit messy, but that's fine. It's good to be messy sometimes. And the next ingredient we're going to add is 1 cup of water. So I've got my water here. I'm going to pour it into the cup, and from there I'm going to pour it into the saucepan. Now I think we can add just a little bit more. It says, the ingredient says 1 1/4 cups, so it's just approximate. So I'm just going to add a little bit more and pour it in. Those are all the ingredients we're going to use. Let's see what the next step is. Okay, so the next stage is we need to turn on the stove. You may have electricity, you may have gas. I have gas. So this I need to be very careful with. I suggest you ask somebody to help you because you don't want to hurt yourself. I've put it onto a medium heat, and then I'm going to put the saucepan on top of it. I'm taking a wooden spoon and I'm going to stir the ingredients together. Now it's quite thick and gooey, but it's important that we really mix in all of these ingredients together. It should turn to be the consistency of mashed potato in the end, okay? Okay, it's not an easy thing to do, but if you find it difficult, ask somebody to help you. You're going to turn off the stove and move the saucepan to the side. Careful not to touch the saucepan, it's still very, very hot. Now let's leave that to one side for a moment and move on to the next stage. Okay, so now you will have taken your saucepan off the heat, and once it's cooled down, you'll move it over to a different surface. You'll take here a baking dish and you will put your parchment paper on the top, okay? Then, this is cooled down now, you're going to take this out with your hands and you'll see it's like a funny dough and it's very nice texture. What happens is it gets hard when you move it, but if you just hold it in your hand, you'll see how it dissolves and becomes all soft. But then as soon as you start moving it again, whoop, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a shape with this, and once we've done that, we're going to move it and put it onto the baking sheet, and then we are going to bake it in the oven. So to do this, you can either make the shape yourself with your hands, or you can use cutters that you may have in the house. You can use Play-Doh cutters also if you have them. All right, so let me have a go.
"11 minutes later."
Okay, so you'll see here on the baking paper, we've put some little dough circles. We've made sure that they're not too close together because we're going to be putting them in the oven to bake, to go hard, okay? So let's put them in the oven and see what happens. So I'm going to turn the oven on to 175. Start. And then I'm going to take my dough, cornstarch dough, and I'm going to put it in the oven. And I'm going to leave it in there for 45 minutes. Let's put it in and see what happens. Okay, we're back after 45 minutes. So I'm going to take the dough out of the oven. Please wear your gloves so that you don't get burnt. The baking tray will be very, very hot and you can burn yourselves and you can get really hurt. So be very careful. Here we go, I'm taking it out. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over here onto a mat. Okay, So now they're out of the oven, we're going to leave it to cool for 10 minutes. Okay, so I've taken my little stone, my little ornament off the baking tray and I put it onto a paper plate because now I'm going to start painting. Now the theme that I want to paint these in is sea creatures, but you can choose anything you want to. So let's get painting. We painted some of these little pebbles, we painted beautiful sea creatures on them. We have a nice starfish, a turtle, an octopus, lovely sunset, a whale, lots of different things. You could do whatever you want and I'm sure you can do much better than we did. But it's lots of fun. Just give it a go. Just one thing, they may look like cookies, but believe me, they're not. So please don't try and eat them. They're not edible, they're not for eating, they're for decoration only. Okay, I hope you enjoy. So now we come to fun fact of the day. And today, I'm going to tell you something about dolphins. Did you know that dolphins sleep with one eye open? My dog's crying, just a second. Bonnie, what do you want? So, okay, what I wanted to tell you was that dolphins sleep with one eye open. Do you sleep with one eye open? Maybe you can ask somebody in your house to have a look and see. Some people sleep with their eyes open, both their eyes open, but most people sleep with their eyes closed. Are you like a dolphin and sleep with only one eye open? It's been so wonderful to be getting all your messages or your films or your emails. Keep them coming. I want to hear from you. I miss you. I want to know what's going on. So please keep them coming in to me. See you next time.